They say there's one model that stood out above the rest, and it's an AI model. Get this, the National Hurricane Center saying DeepMind AI model gave meteorologists higher confidence than usual that Hurricane Melissa was going to rapidly intensify 3 days before it struck Jamaica as that powerful Category 5 storm. This was the first time the NHC made this time of prediction. Predicting rapid intensification is becoming a more critical task as climate change leads to storms undergoing this process more frequently. AI models can be run at high resolution, even on some desktop computers, in just minutes. In 30 seconds, we bring it back home and we talk about the rain chances for the rest of your week. Plus, we're going to talk about how a powerful nor'easter is impacting folks across the United States. Don't go anywhere. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra.
All right, checking out our First Alert Christmas parades forecast for Thursday night. Now, Atala, Montevallo Center, Sylacauga, Piedmont, you see those rain chances there showing up over 50%. But here's the thing, I want to bring in some of the forecast data. And as we continue to fine tune the timing, check in for updates. But this is some of the brand new data, forecast radar. This is showing Thursday at 5 o'clock. And you can see that it's showing at 5 o'clock, most of this rain still back into Mississippi. And then when we take this out to 6, there's 7 o'clock, and it's still showing far west Alabama. So there's a chance some of these earlier parades, just in case, even if this slows down even more, I mean, you're talking, so a lot of this may not get in here until 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night. So just check in with us later tonight. Check in with us on Good Day as we fine tune that forecast. But just know that this could be adjusted a bit later. But right now, we're holding on to those rain chances as just in case these models are a little too slow on the time of arrival. But we will see that rain move in tomorrow night. It will really spread in here overnight into the morning on Friday, and maybe some showers again this weekend. We have some new data showing that. We'll have the updated 10-day forecast coming up. Tania?
And thanks, Wes. Across America, we're not seeing snow here, but in the southeast, or in the southeast, excuse me. But if we take you across the country to the north, where this 12-hour time lapse was taking place, shows how a winter storm intensified during the day. You can see the snow coming down heavily and bringing near whiteout conditions. And this is all coming a part of the nor'easter that's bringing heavy snow and rain to several states along the I-95 corridor. Fox News multimedia reporter Chelsea Torres has the story.
This weather is atrocious. It's bad.
Ice, rain, and snow slamming parts of the East Coast as the first nor'easter of the season arrives. The winter weather creating a travel nightmare for millions of Americans.
The roads are pretty disgusting out here, but it ain't gonna stop me. It's been slippery out here. A lot of our cars are being stopped, but I'm a veteran. I know what I'm doing out here.
At least 6 states in the region are under winter storm warnings and advisories, according to the National Weather Service. Forecasters warn the worst could be felt in New England, where up to 10 inches of snow is expected.
It's bad. On my way here, it was not, the roads were not clean, so they should do better on that.
In Pennsylvania, state police have already responded to more than 200 calls for help from drivers involved in car crashes due to icy road conditions. Officials up and down the East Coast now urging residents to stay off roadways. Schools and offices in hard-hit areas are closed in an effort to keep people home. This wintry mix is also disrupting flights. Over 2,000 flights have been delayed across the region. In upstate New York, workers were caught on camera trying to free frozen equipment from a passenger plane at a local airport. Despite the travel headaches, many say they don't mind the winter weather.
It's beautiful, and it's been a nice winter walk, so we're not complaining. We just hope that the road's clear by tonight so that we can head home.
After the snow, forecasters warn Arctic air will sweep across the nation with freezing temperatures through the end of the week. In Concord, New Hampshire, Chelsea Torres, Fox News.
And we have a closer look at just how cold some of these temperatures are. And these are current temps. Take a look across, especially the north and east. Look at parts of New York. Buffalo, New York is right here, 26 degrees. You go even further north, 25. I wanted to point this one out, 8 degrees. I mean, that's crazy. 25 in parts of Michigan, 28 there in the Illinois area, further out to the west of Chicago. It is cold all over that spot, and I'm not really mad at our little 40s and 50s for our highs here. But check this out. The winter storm isn't keeping people from enjoying winter activities. A community of family and neighbors joining together to build Bob a snowman standing 17 feet and 2 inches tall. It took them 3 hours to make it. The family said building an oversized snowman is a family tradition, and they try to make each one bigger than the last. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we have more on what you can expect as we close out the week. We're talking about the rain, the cold, all of it. Plus, how about one nuclear test may have sent a hunk of iron into space? We'll be right back with more about it.
And time for that first alert 10-day forecast, and we'll start it out with a look at the sky conditions across the area. And there was some high clouds right around sunset time that moved on through, but it looks like we're catching some more breaks in here, so that temperature, it continues to fall. There might actually be a little bit of fog development tonight because there's still some moisture in the air, and as that temperature drops closer to the dew point, we might see a little bit of patchy fog. But notice further southwest you go, you get into parts of Texas and Louisiana. This is that Gulf moisture. Here it comes, that next wave. what we've seen happening here, we've got a very active southern branch of the jet stream. So we've seen these waves. The flow is kind of split. The northern branch is keeping all the really cold air locked away north of us. It's cold, but the really cold Arctic air, that's staying north of us right now. But as we move ahead, what's going to happen, we'll see more of this moisture streaming in from the southwest this weekend and periods of cloud cover. And see, here it comes again. Tomorrow morning by 6:30, you can see that moisture starts to move in here. And this is what I was telling you about. You see how there's a little bit of light precipitation some of the data's picking up on in areas north. It's not a lot, but as the atmosphere sort of moistens up, often at times in situations like this, we can see a little bit of sleet trying to mix in. So that's why I mentioned maybe a brief wintry mix to the north and west, but that's about it. As far as the rest of the day goes and the rest of the morning, this quickly changes over to light rain, and the big story will be maybe some wet roads from the rainfall. But you can see through lunchtime, the model data, it really favors a lot of this staying down into the southern part of the state. So around here locally, I think areas south, especially once we get into the mid part of the day, areas to the south, we're going to see a lot of the rain. So we will still catch some breaks out there through our Thursday. But notice tomorrow night by 8 o'clock, here it comes back. And by the way, if you tuned in just a few moments ago, I was talking about the parade forecast, the start time for the rain. This is the IBM model, so you're getting another look at some forecast radar data here. And this is showing 8 o'clock, this rain starting to move into the central part of the area. But look at these temperatures to the north. We got 30s showing up there, some cold weather with that rain through Friday morning. And the models as we move ahead into Friday are suggesting that the rainy weather may actually break by the afternoon and evening. I still can't rule out some showers in this pattern, but we might catch some breaks. And again, tomorrow, if you need to still do some decorating around the house, put up some Christmas lights, you can see a lot of clouds, and there will be some opportunities for some outdoor activities, but it's just going to stay gloomy, rainy at times through this weekend. Saturday, some leftover showers, especially south. I think that's the greatest chance. And then we'll see the coverage lift a bit further north again on Sunday as a system moves in, and that's what's going to bring some drier weather by next week. We'll see some sunshine coming back, and even for Thursday, Friday of next week, it looks like we'll see another system that may bring showers, but not the kind of setup like what we're seeing right now. It looks like a fast-moving system that's in and out of here. So, Tania, we're going to be talking about some brighter weather next week, but more rain and clouds ahead.
Oh man, not looking forward to that. But Dan Smith joins us now as he separates fact from fiction about one Cold War era experiment in your moment of science.
It was a high-speed test with some disputed, though fascinating points. This week, we're uncovering how a big steel plate may have, but probably didn't, set an accidental milestone for humanity. Between May and October of 1957, the U.S. government conducted 29 nuclear tests 65 miles north of Las Vegas, codenamed Operation Plum Bob. Many details were kept classified for decades, though others had the public invited out to watch, with newsreels capturing many of the tests. A few of these involved underground detonation, demonstrating the ripple effects of such forces above and below the surface. Nuclear weapons scientist Dr. Robert Brownlee designed this series, named Pascal. That July, the first one went off down a 500-foot shaft, but the yield was said to have been 50,000 times greater than expected. Dr. Brownlee described the fiery column hundreds of feet tall as, quote, the world's finest Roman candle. The second one went off a month later, except this time with a 2,000-pound steel plate welded to the top of the shaft. While no footage of this test exists, a 1,000 frames per second camera reportedly captured the plate zooming by the top of the very first frame, never to be seen again. It's said that a back-of-the-envelope calculation clocked that iron plug at 6 times the escape velocity of Earth, or about 41 miles per second. That's literally a New York minute if you start from L.A. More importantly, that was very much a vertical launch, not horizontal, and all other things being equal, that lid may have become the very first man-made object in space, beating Sputnik by 38 days. And now comes the part of the show where Dan ruins the fun. Just like satellites and meteors burn up from friction when entering Earth's atmosphere, the iron cap may have disintegrated on its way out. In fact, Brownlee himself wrote in 2002, quote, I am also vilified for being so stupid as not to understand masses and aerodynamics, etc., and border on being a criminal for making such a claim. His 6 times escape velocity quote came from recounting a somewhat exasperating dialogue with his superior, adding, my calculations are irrelevant on the point of how fast the cap may have been going. However, in a 2016 interview, Brownlee appeared to reverse course, stating that after he left the business, he, quote, realized that piece of iron didn't have time to burn all the way up. The Kármán line is the generally accepted place where Earth ends and space begins, some 62 miles up, meaning that cap would have had less than 2 seconds to break apart in the atmosphere. Wherever the truth lies, the official record still stands, with Sputnik being the first man-made object in space, with the United States' Explorer 1 being the third. Funny enough, just last year, the Parker Solar Probe would have bested the Iron Cap's speed record anyway, with a 430,000-mile-an-hour jaunt around the sun, or from New York back to LA in 23 seconds. Anything but the metric system, I guess. Still, it's thought-provoking to picture that hunk of metal still sailing through the cosmos, perhaps now some 5.5 light days from home. For this week's Moment of Science, I'm Dan Smith.
Very interesting there. I love his stories. They're just so cool and very scientific. But I want to take you beyond that 10-day forecast as we look at our precipitation outlook December the 11th through the 17th. It looks like we could be dealing with below average rainfall. So I know if you're sick and tired of getting these cloudy, cold, rainy days, hopefully we can see some more sunshine returning closer to the middle of this month. Temperature December the 11th through the 17th. It looks like we could be in between below near average and slightly above average for parts of central Alabama, below average north and east, above average south and west central Alabama. But I do want to quickly take you beyond the 10-day and look at those temperatures. Looks like we could be a lot warmer as we bring in December the 12th with highs near 70, mid to upper 60s, I should say. But I do see a drop in temps as we get closer to around the 17th. Some cold air moving back into central Alabama, and states to our north and west could be dealing with some more snow. But of course, that's that beyond the 10-day forecast, and it's always subject to change. We'll keep you up to date. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra. Don't go anywhere. We're back after the break. You know what time it is. We're sharing your lovely viewer picture, starting off with this beautiful image of a rainbow. Is there a rainbow? I see it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. St. Croix?
Yeah.
In Virgin Islands.
Where was the invite at?
Man, I want to be with them.
We're here locked in with the clouds and the cold temperatures, but hey, back here at home where Chris Haynes, he showed a lovely sunrise in Tuscaloosa County, so it's nice to see. Even had a little sunshine out there today. It was nice to see.
Oh yeah, that was a treat. Sharon Gill sharing this photo from Lay Lake. You can see the fog as it creates a haze across that area.
Sharon's one of our weather photo warriors. She's always sending us some great views there from the lake. And last but not least, check out this gorgeous sunset shared with us by Daniel from I-22 in West Jefferson County. Just stunning to see some of those colors. And we had just enough cloud cover today where we had some beautiful views out there. But it's back to rain, back to clouds tomorrow. We're tracking it.
We sure are. Be sure to check in with us at 9 and 10. Have a wonderful evening.